Hi there, it's Liz Yuille from Old Stables Crafts. Thank you very much indeed for watching me again today. Today I am continuing on my series on different inks and how to use them and what to use them for. I'm again using the Illuminated Christmas stamp set because I wanted consistency through my videos. And today we are looking at the Whisper White Craft Stamping Pad. Now, this is an old one. They come in the new style pad now, but the basic idea is the same. I just haven't got round to getting my new pad yet. So, they come uninked with a re-inker. So this is one time where I don't have to say, when you get your ink pad, don't forget to get your re-inker, because they come with the re-inker. When you get it, it will have no ink on it at all. It will just be this foam surface. And the reason for that is that when they were originally sent out without the re-inker, they would be sent out inked, and they leaked like nobody's business. So to resolve that issue, they now send an ink pad with an uninked base pad. Generally speaking, I only ink the centre because when I'm storing it, I don't want it to leak. But what I tend to do is re-ink it every time. For no good reason other than that's just a habit I've got into, I guess, because I haven't completely inked up this ink pad. And this is the gloopiest stuff in the world. This makes Versamark ink look runny. And trust me, Versamark ink is not runny. So you just squeeze some on. You get an old bone folder. This is a very old, very tatty, very disgusting bone folder. And spread it around so that you've got, you know, a reasonable spread of ink. Wet wipe. Just clean off your bone folder. And we will need that in a minute. And we're then good to go. So I'm using coloured cardstock because obviously we want to see it. So in the usual way, it's a foam pad, so you tap lightly, you don't push hard, and you ink up your image, and you get your embossed, your stamped image. Now, of course, if I had been clever, I would have got my clear embossing powder, which is there. Clear embossing powder. Now, it is possible to emboss with this ink because it is a pigment ink, so it takes a wee while to dry. It's not the easiest thing in the world on a coated surface, or sorry, an uncoated surface, which is what this is, but let's give it a go. So, embossing buddy, always a good idea if you're going to heat emboss. Ink up your pad, stamp it down, take your pad, get embossing powder over it, and I'm using clear because kind of it seems the most appropriate as we're using a white ink. And just make sure I get that reasonably well covered. Woo! Don't throw your embossing powder on the floor. Trusty cheese board. Pop that in and heat up your heat tool. You always need a hot heat tool. Don't go in with a cold heat tool. All that will do is warp your paper. And then just wait for the embossing powder to melt. And there you have your embossed image. Now it's pale because the white on a dark surface is never going to be dark white, if you can have dark white. Bright is the word I'm looking for. But you can hopefully see that there is a slight difference between the two. So the other thing you can use it for, and you kind of need a dedicated aqua painter for this, but we'll give it a go anyway, is if I grab the one that is embossed, you can get some ink in your lid, and it's the usual, you know, squish it into the lid of your ink pad, and with your aqua painter you can just come in with a little bit of water, and you can actually paint that over, and then when that's dry you can add other colour on top and it will come out like a pastel effect. The classic for doing this is to do it on crumb cake, which is a stunning look, and you get a really pale pastel effect. Obviously you would use a slightly darker classic ink than the final colour that you're looking for, because the white will change that colour a wee bit. So I'll see if I can get this to dry reasonably quickly so that I can show you what I mean. So let me grab I'll start with a wet wipe, and then I'll blast this with a heat tool and just get that to run through. I'll blast this with a heat tool and then I'll show you how to clean up your stamp, and then we will play watercolour. And this will be like the chalkboard effect. I actually only want it on the first setting because I don't want to remelt the embossing powder, I just want to dry the ink. So if you ever wondered why you have two heat settings on your heat tool, that's part of the reason. So I'll pop that to one side. It will need a rub just to move some stuff around. But right, so we now have a very white stamp. So again, one of the rare occasions I will say get a baby wipe or wet wipe. I don't want the classic white or the Whisper White Craft ink on my stamping scrub, because it's just not good for it. So wipe off the excess with a wet wipe and then just clean up your stamp in the usual way with your stamping scrub. And because you've used your stamping mist, it reconditions the stamp. Always a good thing to do. So there is our almost dry impression. I've just got some paper towel here that I'm just going to rub over the top as much as anything to get the white off the embossed area, because you kind of want that shiny embossed area. So let me grab, let's use that. I don't know what this is going to look like on here, but we'll give it a go. So this is a lovely lipstick. I've got some of it in the lid already. And then you can just pick up your ink. Go to the top. Now that's what it would look like on straight onto the Pacific Point. But adding it on top of the white, it starts looking dark, but then as you can see it fades into the white. So that's what you can do. So I hope you found that interesting. I have still got some more ink to go, sort of. I'm going to go into the kind of whole colouring thing. But yeah, hope you found that interesting. I will, as I say, have some more colour, how to use ink to colour your stamped images coming up. So we haven't got to the end of it yet. You might think we have, but we haven't. If you've got any questions or comments, please do leave them in the description bar below. Drop me an email, leave me a comment on my blog, any of that good stuff. That would be marvellous. If you need any of the products, then there is a link to my online store below. There's also the host code for the month, and details of how to get sunflower rewards, which you can exchange for free product. So yeah, thank you very much indeed for watching. If you enjoyed that, found it interesting, please give it a thumbs up, and I look forward to seeing you very soon. Bye!